Hi everybody, and this presentation is to discuss the group project that we have for class. I'll try to give you the outline of it, of what needs to be done and when. All the details are also in our class shell in D12. So what's the project all about? It's you're going to watch a documentary. It's called The Smartest Guys in the Room. I have a link here. I can talk about some other ways that you can watch it as well. But it's a story about a company called Enron, who was one of the largest corporations in the world, and had a very meteoric rise and a very, very meteoric descent. And you'll find out lots about it through this documentary. And when you're watching it, I want you to pay real close attention to a couple of points. Mr. Skilling, who is the president or leader of the company, made an assertion very early on that he was working for the benefit of the shareholders. Something you want to consider very closely as you watch the movie. Was he really doing that or not? There's a unique situation in the middle of the movie that discusses, I'll just call it what it is, kind of a scheme that Enron had revolving around the Nigerian barges. That there's a whole situation that happened with investors and accountants, and take a look at that and pay close attention to that when it comes up. And then one of the premises of how Enron reported their earnings and such was something called mark-to-market accounting. When you see that, listen very closely to the explanation of it, and pay attention to how it's used and abused throughout the course of the film. You're going to convene with a group, and you're going to discuss and create as a group response to those points. So you'll have the opportunity to do that. Your group will also post your response in a discussion for the project, and you'll individually comment on other groups' posts as part of the project, and ultimately you're going to rate the performance of the other members of your group and their participation and responsibility to the group. So where to start? Review the Enron Group project documents. You find that in D12. Make sure you read all of those documents, understand them. Touch base with your fellow group members as soon as you can. Lay out your timeline for getting things done. Individual responsibilities, who's going to do what. You are pre-assigned to the group, so you can find that under the Groups tab in D12. Your group members have their email listed in the Class List tab in D12 as a way to reach out to them, and then you can decide how to communicate from that point forward. Each group will need to elect a leader, so it kind of keeps the whole thing moving and keeps it on time. A scribe who's responsible for submitting all of the group documents and posts on behalf of the group. That sounds harder than it is. It's not as bad as it sounds once you take a good look at what's involved. And other people to do a little bit of research, because it's probably going to require a little bit of research on your part. Then, watch the movie. Get some popcorn, beverage of your choice, watch the movie. It's available online. I have the link for it in D12. I also had it in the beginning of this presentation. It's available at some public libraries that I know of. It's also available for purchase or rent on Amazon, Apple TV, Hulu, probably a whole bunch of other places as well. But you can watch it free online. I did that very recently, so I know that it can be done. I provide a little background of the story in a separate PowerPoint presentation listed under the Enron documents. And after watching, and I would do it as soon as possible, right after watching the movie, preferably, complete your individual write-up notes to use for your group discussion, and you'll use that for comments on other groups' discussion posts as well. Your group will meet to come up with conclusions. You're going to craft your response on those points. Your meetings can be either online in a video chat. Oakton makes available Google Meet, which is something you all have access to, and it's a very easy one to use. You can use an online collaborative space, Skype, Slack. Those are some popular ones. You can meet in person, obviously. But the best method is the one that you're most familiar with, so you don't get all hung up on that. Just come up with one and stick with it and work through it. And then I strongly suggest you do a little background research on the topics. A few Google searches won't cover a lot of information, so get some background information on it as well than what you see in the movie. That'll help you craft your response. And I can hear you, and I feel your pain if you've been in group projects before that didn't go so great. You're saying, darn it, another group project? Yes, but the benefits here are great. It's really, with this particular thing, it's really good to share your ideas on this real-life story. And you're going to talk to your classmates who might have a different perspective or add you the perspective that you already have. You will work collaboratively, will come up with a better conclusion than you will as individuals. So, and last thing I want to say about it is this is exactly how a lot of work gets done these days. So don't. These are real skills that you need to develop while you're in school, and they will help you immensely in your futures. Okay. So, what if you have that group member that doesn't respond? This is a very short-term project. Move on. You don't have time to involve them. If somebody's not going to respond or is not going to carry their weight, just move on from them very quickly. Okay, and that's warning to all those people who like to not respect timelines, and you won't have the opportunity to make up anything here. You will fill out a group member evaluation at the end, and of course complete it honestly, and the rest takes care of itself. But what if you're that person? What if you're somebody who's so busy that they can't contribute? Pay attention to those points I just gave before. Your group members will evaluate you. Okay? So that's basically it. That's the project. If you have any questions about it, don't hesitate to reach out to me. And don't belabor on this too long. It's not designed to take a long time to do. It's designed for you to kind of pull together some of the information that you've gleaned from class and apply it to a real story that is just amazing. Nobody watches this documentary and pays attention and not come away with some real feelings about it. It's not the kind of thing that you can be very indifferent about. Okay, so I hope you enjoy it. Best of luck, and don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions.